Happy Tuesday. It's Talkie Tuesday. So glad to see you here. My name is Dori Patrick. Welcome back to my home art studio. I try to check in every week and just say hey and kind of share what's up. I hope you're all doing well. I can't believe that we're almost halfway through October already. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, but it's good. This is one of my favorite months of the whole year. I love it. So anyway, let's see. Since I saw you last, I attended the Red Wing Fall Arts Festival in Red Wing, Minnesota. Hubby and I went up there this past Friday, and the show was Saturday and Sunday. And I got a little bit of footage of the show for you. Not as much as I want. I never get it. I get really in the zone at the shows and don't get as many photographs taken as I want to and video, but it is what it is. But anyway, it was a beautiful weekend. I mean, we could not have asked for a more perfect fall weekend to have a show. And I have heard that this show, because it's so well into October in Minnesota, that there has been snow at this show before. But the patrons come out anyway. So anyway, it was just like super duper bonus weather. Beautiful weather. So we had a great time. We had a fabulous spot. I think we were on Bush Street. I can't remember exactly. I just remember we were right across the street from Staghead Restaurant, where we had dinner the first night we were there, and it was so delicious. And just had a really great overall experience. The sales were good, and everyone was just sweet and friendly. And the Red Wing Arts, well, let's see, I think they're called the Red Wing Arts Organization, but the folks that organize the show do such an amazing job. Like, it's so well organized, and it's they just take such good care of you. Like, we had an awards ceremony Saturday night where they treated us to hors d'oeuvres and beverages, and they just always had people coming around checking on us, and a lovely artist lounge where they provided food all day long, like pots of chili and snacks galore. And it just was really, it's so nice as an artist to come in and know you're appreciated. They really made us feel welcome and appreciated. So yeah, it was fun. And oh man, by Sunday afternoon, we were tired. We were really tired. We got home Sunday night around, I don't know, I think it was 9:30 or so, and got back with our Butterbean, who we miss when we're gone. And it's just been, so the past couple days are those get back into the groove days after a show is over. It's, putting things away, catching up on laundry, got to run to the bank, and just all those little things that you got to do when you get back, which has actually gone really smoothly. Sometimes I get kind of behind in putting things away and I let things linger, but I did not do that this time. I got all my show display stuff put away, got paintings that didn't sell put away, so they're ready to either put them in my Etsy shop or whatever. So I feel like I'm organized for once in my life, a little sooner than usual after the show. But yeah, so it's just been getting back into the groove and gearing up to do some more work. Yesterday, so this would be Monday, midday, I got my COVID booster. I kind of wanted to put it off until after the show in case it made me feel run down, but I'm happy to report I don't. I felt a little kind of feverish and kind of achy like a couple hours after I got it, but really haven't had any negative side effects from it. So happy about that, and really happy to be boosted before the cold snap comes. But yeah, so it's just been getting back into the groove time. And so I guess that's kind of what I was going to talk about briefly. Last week I really went on and on, and I haven't had time to go through your questions yet to pick any to address. So I will try to do that in future videos. But this week we're just going to talk about a little bit of easing back into creating when you either don't feel like it, or for reasons beyond your control, you haven't been able to get to it for a while. And I know for a fact that it is hard to start when you have been away from creating for a while. And the longer you're away from it, the harder the start is. I don't know why that is. It just kind of is. So here's what I do. First of all, well, let me back up. I should say it really depends on if there's a deadline looming or not. I can have a little more leeway when I don't have an immediate deadline to hit right away when I get back to the studio. So my last deadline that I was striving for was this Red Wing art show. And now I have kind of a little bit of a lull, although I have a couple of projects that I need to knock off that some folks are expecting. But no real immediate deadlines again for about another month, and that will be my next holiday show. So I have just spent this very intense, busy period of several weeks of cranking art out, and I'm not feeling it right now. So what do you do when you're not feeling it? You don't really have a deadline, and you're just kind of floating along, wondering what to do next, and you're feeling kind of bad. I know that we get hard on ourselves when we aren't always productive, but the fact of the matter is, a creative person can't always be productive 24/7 all the time. We need time to percolate, to just come down a notch and absorb new ideas, maybe looking for inspiration. This may be a good time to go take yourself on an artist date, like Julia Cameron says that we should do. I personally am kind of feeling a hunger to do a little hunting and gathering. I'm thinking about magazine pages and some old books to turn into journals for winter. So I'm thinking I might be hitting a couple thrift shops later today, maybe the Half Price bookstore, just to kind of get out and get into a new environment and get some new ideas for some new projects. Another thing that I like to do is, when I'm easing back into getting work done, is working on paper is really a great way to not feel too precious or too worried about how something's going to turn out. A piece of paper is just so easy, inexpensive, and such a great way to play. And you may end up with a finished product. You may not. If you don't, this could always become something that you cut up later and turn into collage fodder for your journals. So I highly recommend, if you're feeling like a canvas is too overwhelming, grab a piece of paper and get to work on that. And then who knows, maybe a spark will come and you will want to transfer that idea immediately to a canvas, or even glue that piece of paper down to canvas. Yeah, working on paper. I also, my in-between times are good times for me to dig into my art journals and my, oops, here's the front. My altered books are such a great way to get your hands moving again. Again, it's in a book. It's no big whoop. It's no big commitment. It doesn't have to have any particular outcome one way or the other. It's just a good way to get your hands moving and warm up. And I find that once I get going in my journals, I am ready to go again on canvases and such. So that's another idea. Grab your journals and start playing with those. I also find it's a good time for me to tidy the studio. I am always working on staying on top of, well, I try. I'm always trying to keep the studio down to a dull roar so that it is always ready for me when I am ready. So it's a good time to, oh, sorry you guys, my allergies are really acting up. It's a good time to edit, get things out of your way that you're not using, pull out old things that you've forgotten about, put those to use, figure out better systems for the flow of your supplies that you use every day. It's a great time to rethink your studio. And sometimes just a tiny little tweak, you know, I don't know, putting those paintbrushes just a couple feet closer to where you're working so that you don't have to stretch so much to grab them. I mean, just little tweaks to make your space work better for you can mean the world later on down the road. So it's a good time to think about your space, I think, and just always be editing, always be tweaking. And then finally, another thing I do, if I feel like I should be doing something, but I just don't have the oomph to get going on a project, I will make fodder. So I will make collage fodder. So paper, I'll get out. I have a stash of scrap and old mail, things like that. And I will paint and jelly print paper in whatever colors I feel like using. Sometimes I'm just using up little bottles of craft paint that I have left over. Making collage papers and also fabrics. I will do that too when I know I need to build up my supply for my stitching projects. I'll just get out my cottons and my canvas and just go nuts on, you know, a few pieces of canvas because you can always use it down the road. So that's another way to get your hands moving when the creative muse just doesn't want to sit on your shoulder that day. Those are some of the things that I do. And also, dudes, take a break. Like, take a break. There is nothing wrong with taking a few days off if you need to. I know some people that kind of get that panicky feeling when you haven't worked for a while and you wonder, will I ever work again? Yes, you will. You will work again. It's starting is the hardest part. So if you are ever in that, you know, funky time where you just don't know what to do, give yourself grace, take a break, think about some things you'd like to try, and then when you're ready, get after it. There's no sense worrying or fussing about it. Just get after it when you're ready. I'm kind of bossy this week, aren't I? That's all I got for you this week, guys. I'm going to try to organize a more lengthy video with a few demos for next week. We'll see how that goes. This week, I think I'm going to, like I said, hunt and gather a little bit. And then I'm going to try digging into a couple of my journals. I'm actually working on a couple of teaching ideas for some classes for this fall and winter. And one of them is how I use old books for my art journals. Hey guys, I am such a dork. I ran out of battery again, but so I'm sorry for the abrupt switch in camera angle. One of these days I'll get it right. But anyway, I wanted to give you a proper goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I love hearing your questions and comments, and love hearing about your routines that work best for you. So please share. We're all better together. So I wish you a wonderful, creative week, and I'll see you again next week.